I took my whole entire firmware journey. I went from 1082 then to 1304, and I was trying to note the differences in game mode there, and there wasn't a whole lot really. I didn't feel like I lost brightness like in a lot of games. I just looked at it and I did not see any brightness drops. And I looked into it more and I read about it more, and it does seem like it's just that 1% window, the little tiny bursts
Yeah,
that
that's the other thing is a lot of people think, oh, they started as 1500 nits and then it was cut and that's why it's dimmer and that has nothing to do with it. That's only just how bright a little tiny thing is going to be for a few seconds. So that
right.
has nothing to do with the overall image that you're seeing. It's always just been the changes with the EOTF.
hmm And then the perceived brightness is the exact same if you raise the ST2084 to +2. It's the exact same. So the biggest change with the TV from 1082 to 1304 is, of course, with the filmmaker mode, movie mode, which is well documented.
Yeah, game mode was changed too. I still have the measurements from that somewhere.
hmm
Um, I forget if exactly which firmware. I think I did 1303 when I bought the
Right.
second one. Whatever firmware it was, there was a change to game mode at that time, which made it more accurate, but you could just change it back by increasing the ST2084.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what happened. But I do think it's a little bit overblown because people are like, "Oh, my S95B is dim after the update." I'm like, "No, it's not." The 1403 firmware that I downloaded um, does have some issues with the HDR game mode. Um, for some reason, the ST2084 slider does not work. So that's just something that I noticed. It won't work unless you put on contrast enhancer, and then all of a sudden it works again. If you take off the HDR game mode, then it works as well, even with
Mm.
contrast enhancer off. So not sure if that's intentional, because it just doesn't have any effect at all. And it appears that the game mode itself uh, maybe lowered the EOTF because it does seem like it's not as bright. So I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, yeah, I was on FOMO stream the other day and said that I imagine it's just going to continue the trend of Samsung this year with up and down with the firmwares, and that if you have it already, just take it offline if you're on a stable firmware,
hmm
and to not be afraid to still buy it because you can just buy it. I mean, especially if you buy it now or next month, it's not going to have that firmware. Just keep it offline, put 1304 on a USB drive, and then you should be good,
Yep.
and shouldn't have to worry about it. And if you do get stuck with that new update, probably in 2, 3 weeks or whatever, they'll have a new update to fix something. So,
Yeah. And if you put it on low contrast enhancer and adjust some things, you can get away with it if you're not satisfied with the picture. Sorry about the blurriness, but as you can see here, there is some differences in the actual like luminance that I was able to catch on my camera. So you can see the 1304 actually looks a little bit washed out, in the mountains here. So that was just something that I thought was interesting. But I would avoid 1403 just because of the bug. If you go over the air, 1304 should be the update that you get. I would avoid just getting updates off of the website. It's kind of like a beta in a way. Um, Something I noticed in the past. There's always some buggy firmware popping up on the website, and it never hits OTA. So always just kind of check reviews first before you download an update. It's the best bet. Um, that way you know if something's wrong. Other than that, like picture quality wise, it doesn't look bad for the other modes and stuff. It just seems like the game mode HDR is a little bit bugged. And of course, if you don't want to download that update if you're gonna experience some VR flicker.
yeah, it's the same things we've been saying for 7 months with Samsungs this year, all
hmm
of them.
Yeah,
If it's working and you like it, don't
take it
update
offline.
it, take it offline.
Yeah, I feel like that about every TV though. So like, if you like your TV the way it is, just take it offline. Use an Apple TV or your favorite streaming device. It's just the best bet to go. Like, but like Samsung is definitely one of the only brands that will dramatically change your picture quality with an
Yeah.
update. So that's
Yeah,
not
there
how
was
it
a lot
works.
of the sky is falling,
Right.
and it's like there are ways around it, and if you do get stuck with it, I mean, look at the past 7 months. They're
Hmm.
they're probably going to fix it.